warm welcome to everybody. A very good morning, and I really love you all. 8 o'clock in the morning. Who comes on this session at 8 o'clock? Only those who are super committed. So we have our. I'm requesting co-host to manage the audio, please. Thank you. Super cool. Okay, guys. So I welcome our expert speaker today, Surbhi Manocha Choudhary, and all of you a warm welcome. Every morning at 8 o'clock, we meet here for Expert Speak, bringing fantastic speakers and outstanding topics. This particular program, Expert Speak, was curated by our Plan to Win colleague and co-founder, Gitanjali Kasliwal. So today she has got a terrible network, so she's not going to be here. But I am your host, Darshana Falke, also a co-founder at Plan to Win, and I'm going to be there today to manage the Expert Speak. We have our other co-founders also here. Can you quickly say a hi, guys, to everybody?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this session.
Hi, guys.
Okay, so that was Shalaka, Seema, and Vikas. So what is Plan to Win? So guys, Plan to Win ये ऐसी कम्युनिटी है, हम 2 मिनट में शुरू करेंगे. उसके पहले मैं आपको थोड़ा बैकग्राउंड दे दूं. हम एक ऐसी कम्युनिटी है, we have a vision to build a community who lives a future of choice. Okay, and that too with ease, grace, and creativity. So I would want all of you who want to have ease, grace, and creativity in all your accomplishments, please be with us in this community. You can join us every Saturday at 8 a.m. Also ask more and more of your people, contacts and community to be here, because this is an absolutely free session. Plan to Win has various other activities. You can get access to those activities by joining our Plan to Win Heart to Heart group. उसकी लिंक हम अभी नहीं देने वाले हैं, towards the end. तो हम देखना चाहते हैं कितने लोग हैं super committed who sit through the session and they are going to get a gift in terms of an opportunity to join Plan to Win community. And I hope there are people pouring in from different, different cities. I would now take an opportunity to welcome and introduce our beloved speaker today, that is Surbhi. And I played a song, Kar Har Maidan Fateh, yeah? And that's how Surbhi is doing. She is, fatehing every Maidan. So we have Surbhi here. Surbhi is, I'm so honored to have such wonderful speakers and you, Surbhi, today. She's undiluted, unadulterated, and unapologetic, yeah? And she is a motivational speaker, entrepreneur, corporate trainer. She is a columnist, a social worker. She has separated from her first relationship and got into a new relationship to create love. So she's the founder of Bharat Ki Beti Foundation. She has been working for various on platforms to work for women's health. And more about Surbhi. But I want Surbhi now to come aboard. It's 8:05. And she's going to speak to you exactly what has happened and how has been her journey. Surbhi, over to you.
Hi, everybody. Very good morning. And thank you, everybody from the Plan to Win team. So thank you for that song also. But you know what? I live life with a different ideology. Don't take me wrong. I mean, I'm not going to apologize, right? I said I'm unapologetic. First of all, I would want to know what is the mode. His English okay? Hindi plus English is okay, right? Or should I just go for English if people are joining from some place where they don't understand Hindi?
Yeah, so we have some people from the south, but if there is a concern, guys, you can ask us on the chat and Surbhi can repeat it in English. So please use English. English, okay. Hindi will be super. Thank you.
Yeah, so the thing is that, I never plan to win. I just plan to live it fully and enjoy. So ever since as a child, we are 2 sisters, and I was born in a big family, like my parents. It's a joint family, and I'm 40, and I'm going to be 41 in April on the 9th. So you guys can send me gifts. Please note my birthday. So
noted.
So Hi, Uttara. Thank you so much. The thing is that, I was always, because there's a lot of gender stereotyping in the society. Abhi, right now, at this point in time when we are sitting together in 2022, there is a lot of gender stereotyping. And I was always grown up like a boy. My parents did not, discriminate as if, we are girls, because we were two girls. But still, no matter how much they do, whatever they do, there's always something that the society, will kind of tell you, okay, now you are a woman. And they also were like somewhere confusing us, kind of, like growing us up like boys, and then, getting married like girls, right? So I was growing up like a man, but I got married like a woman, yeah, because you have to learn this, you have to learn that, you have to go to another house, and eventually you realize that a woman has no house. Probably her parents' house is not hers, and then you have to go to other people's house. So people who don't understand Hindi, I will translate it for you. Dusro ke ghar jana, you have to go to another person's house. So you have a code of conduct, this is what girls do and this is what girls don't do. But I had all my life been doing what I wanted to do. And in my head, I used to think I was raised like a guy. But now again, this is misgendering. So every time you tell your child that मैं तुम्हें बेटे से कम नहीं समझती या समझता, you are misgendering your child. I'm not blaming my parents. They gave me the best, and they gave me the best of what they understood. Probably I also understood this now after becoming a mother, that you cannot misgender a child. And I think they would have just raised me like a child, irrespective of my gender, and given me the things that they've given me. And that whole thing in my head that I have to behave like a man, and I have to be a man and probably support my family, be like a boy. That never solidifies, because God is kind. My parents have been very healthy. They take care of themselves. So anyway, now we'll go further. So I went. I was told by my mother always that ye seekh lo, wo seekh lo, learn this, learn that. You have to go to another man's house. And I would ask her, I want to chill. I want to go out with my friends, for a vacation. So she said, okay, you go for a vacation with your husband. And I asked her, I want to go pubbing. I want to go clubbing. So she'd be like, no, you go with your husband. So whenever she tell me, make tea for me, I said, I'll make for my husband, because he's going to take me on the vacation and he's the one who's going to take me to the club. And eventually I grew up in this background. I started learning my father's business at a very early age. At 13 years of age, he gave me a bag, a small bag, and a booklet, and he said, go survey the market. So that's how I started learning. So I went to a nearby store. We are into pharmaceuticals, and went to a nearby pharmacy, and I had the survey booklet with me, and I was asking him, okay, this is our product and these are the competitors, and how are the competitors doing and what is our product doing. So at that point in time, that man at the pharmacy was shocked to see a 13-year-old girl come for a pharmaceutical survey. And he actually categorically asked me कि आपको ये job कैसे मिली? How did you manage to get this job? Because you are so young, and we've never seen a girl do a survey, a pharma survey, because if we're talking about around 27 years back. So today also, if you see, pharma is more or less predominantly male dominated industry. So I told him, so I am the owner of the company's, I'm company owner's daughter, and he sent me. So he's like, okay, you could have done something else. Why did you send you for this? So I said, no, my father wants me to learn from the ground reality. I should know things. So I was never scared, to be in the man's world, to kind of, do things. And I never thought I was a girly girl. In fact, even in school, I was more of a black sheep. If I want to call myself something nicer, I'd call myself a unicorn. So I wouldn't be around girls. I'd be around boys. All the boys were my friends. And even at times, still, a lot of my friends, even my husband at times tells me, okay, so you are the man. So yeah, so it's okay if someone wants to intervene or like have a question, we can have it interact. Every industry existing is male dominated today too, yes. And if you look at the top notch places, the boards and every other place in the the world over, there are very less women leaders.
So Surbhi, here at this point, I want to, really talk to the people, to the guys who are there in this session. So they might be wondering, "Arey, ye kya guy, girls logo ka talk ho raha hai?" So definitely, you will always have women around you. So through Surbhi and through all this, you will come to know what is really going on in their mind. And I'm sure that आप यहाँ पे आए हो, तो you are here to elevate your life to another level. तो देखिए कि औरतें क्या सोचती हैं, and how is it that you can provide a conducive environment to the women in your life. That can be your wife, sister, or your daughter, and even colleague. Yeah, right, Surbhi?
Yes, perfect, Darshana, because empathy counts. Actually, I can see my cousin has joined the talk, Saurabh. Hi, Saurabh. So he would take me on the bike in the night. And मैं रात को जैसे लड़के घूमते हैं ना बाइक पे, मैं उसके साथ घूमती थी, हम पान खाते थे, पान की दुकान पे जाते थे. So I never had that in me that, I'm a woman, मेरे को पान की दुकान पे नहीं जाना है. I mean, these are funny things. You will say ये कैसी बातें कर रही है, पर आज भी आप देखो कोई लड़की जाती नहीं है पान की दुकान पे. No woman goes to a pan shop at least in North India. Abhi bhi, it's like, okay, we don't get down here. Men will go get us the stuff. So then things changed. Like, I grew up, and then I joined college, and my mother, then I was a notorious girl. I had a lot of friends, and yes, men present here are fathers, brothers, and husbands, Uttara, and my brother is also there. My cousin is also here in the talk. So what happened that my mother, because I was so notorious, hanging out here and there, and she had a shock. So she wanted that, I get married, and that's when they kind of an arranged marriage was organized, and I wasn't very happy from the word go. But yeah, if it is my parents' choice, and I didn't know how arranged marriages worked. In fact, I wasn't. I will not criticize anyone here that X was wrong or Y was wrong, but it didn't work out, right? It just didn't work out for me. And at that point in time, when I wanted to take a divorce, it was like my parents weren't convinced, because I had a younger sister, that how would she get married? Because that gives you a label of being a headstrong woman. And it is very, very sad when a woman is assertive, she is called aggressive. जी हाँ, अगर आप अपना दिमाग जानते, if you know your mind, तो आपको उग्र कह दिया जाएगा. कि महिला है ना, ये बहुत ही क्या aggressive है, लड़ाकी है, झगड़ालू है. She loves to fight, But I don't think so. There is anything wrong in knowing your mind. So assertive man is an assertive man, but an assertive woman is an aggressive woman. It is the label that is given to us. I'm not saying that all men do that or everybody does that, but there is an inherent patriarchy. Patriarchy is the supremacy that men have in the society, and somewhere women are building it. When a mother-in-law, I'm not here to build in an Ekta Kapoor serial here, though even if I do that, it has a great TRP, to be very honest. Everybody loves to watch Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu and 10,000 episodes of Simmar Ka Sasural, So I'm not going to talk about that, but patriarchy is promoted by women. So if my mother telling me when I come back to house, I'll just give you an example of Indra Nooyi, not my own, would be very bad. So if Indra Nooyi came back to the house when she was announced the CEO of PepsiCo, she comes back home and she tells her mother, I have become the CEO of PepsiCo. Isn't it a big deal? Guys, if you think it's a big deal to become a CEO of any company, let alone PepsiCo, could you just give me a thumbs up in the chat box? So yes, it is a big deal. And she came back home and she told her mother that I have become the CEO of PepsiCo. And the mother says, listen, there's no milk in the house. Go get milk. मतलब घर में दूध नहीं है बच्चों के लिए, आप दूध लेकर आइए, आप बन गई होंगी सीईओ पेप्सिको के, मेरे को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Because the mother was the caretaker of the child, because no doubt she was doing all that. She couldn't do all that if she didn't have someone from the house to support. She had 2 girls. So she said, my husband was already home. Why didn't you ask him to get milk? She said, no, it's your duty. You are the mother. So that's how, women come back home and still they have to take care of the house, and men can come back home and they are cushioned. But again, there are men like my cousin in the talking panel, in the listeners panel. He does it. He supports his wife a lot, and he's a very nice husband. So there are men like that, and the world is changing. And he knew how to cook even as a boy. So that's what, we have to tell people, we have to come out of the stereotype that khana banana women ka kaam hai और बाहर जाना बॉयज का काम है. बॉयज को खाना बनाना आना चाहिए. इट इज अ लाइफ स्किल, बिकॉज आप अपना खुद का पेट भर रहे हैं. यू फीलिंग योर ओन स्टमक इफ यू कुकिंग, so those stereotypes need to change, right? So we then that marriage didn't work out for me, and I wanted to take a divorce, and it wasn't easy. I was told a lot of things, that I should compromise, I should go back, and maybe things will work out. But I will tell you one thing, the best thing that ever happened to me was that divorce. Because for the change to happen, you have to come out of your comfort zone. And I went ahead and I struggled. It wasn't easy. Uttara, my cousin, will be labeled as henpacked, and my husband is already labeled as a bichara, because he, according to people, he has a very aggressive wife. Okay, so then what happened? I contested the divorce because it was me who wanted it. It wasn't easy. And contesting becomes very tough. So now I'm telling you, what happens is, in India, what we do is, हिंदुस्तान में हम शादी का लहंगा डिसाइड करते हैं, शादी का बुफे डिसाइड करते हैं, शादी का वेन्यू डिसाइड करते हैं. So we decide the venue of the marriage, the outfits of the marriage, the buffet of the marriage, how it's going to happen, the gifts, and what the relatives are going to get, and what am I going to get. I have to look like Katrina Kaif that day. That is my day. I am going to be a heroine. But we forget to plan the marriage together. We forget to plan that, what is it that's going to happen? Right? What is it going to happen? What is it that we are going to live together? What is it that we want for each other? So everybody here listening to me, I will request to you, if you are parents, if you are brothers, sisters, family members, friends, tell your friends and whoever's going to get married, please plan your life together. Don't plan the Manish Malhotra lehenga or the Sabyasachi outfit, because that is just going to be one for one day. Your life is that you're going to live together forever. And I did that mistake once, and I realized that no, I have to plan my life together with the person if I ever get married again. I did one thing then. I was the university topper. I could have got a job.
Surbhi, I just want to tell these people who are listening कि अभी भी कर सकते हैं, why अभी नहीं हुआ, अभी शादी हो गई, तब क्या करें सुरभि? So now also I think they can actually see कि इसके आगे हमारी life as a partner, as a couple कैसे हो सकती है, right?
Definitely, because that is very, very important. And तब मैंने यूनिवर्सिटी टॉप करी थी. I topped the university and I thought I could get a job easily, but मैं job नहीं करना चाहती थी, because job is like facing the world, and I was not in a great state of mind. मैंने लोगों से मिलना भी छोड़ दिया था. I'd stopped meeting people. It was not easy. आज भी, I took a divorce 20 years back, around 17 years back. Today also, if a girl wants to take divorce, she's facing a lot of problems. A lot of girls come to me. They don't want to meet people. They don't want to go out of the house. They don't want to tell people that I'm not happier and I want to change what is not good for me. In fact, a lot of marriages, people are suffering just because they don't have the courage to tell each other that we don't want to stay with you anymore, or we don't enjoy this. But me being me, I couldn't stand it. And then I took up another course in Delhi, and I wanted to see a bigger world, because all my schooling and my college was in Indore. I lived in Indore all my life. I wanted to see the world around me. I wanted to go to a bigger city. वो कहते हैं ना, बड़ी city में you are a nobody. और वो nobody होकर मुझे देखना था. मैंने अपनी comfort zone से बाहर आकर वहां गई. Education loan लेकर पढ़ा, because I didn't want my parents to be. My parents could pay for my education easily. No, it wasn't that tough for them. In fact, they didn't want me to take the loan, but I took the loan. Why? Because I didn't want my family to kind of, pay for me anymore. Now I thought that I was once married, and now my financial responsibility should not be theirs. I took an education loan. I went to Delhi to study. and I got a job. Now वो कहते हैं ना नौकरी मिलती है तो छोकरी भी मिलती है. मुझे नौकरी मिली and I married this very nice chokra, my now husband Amit. But he wasn't married because a lot of people, they're so interested. अच्छा आपकी तो शादी हो गई थी, आपके husband की पहली शादी थी क्या? उसकी पहली ही थी, मेरी दूसरी थी. तो and also my now daughter, my daughter now is now from the now husband. So she's 12 years and I'm married for 14 years. लोग ये भी सवाल पूछ लेते हैं कि भाई आपकी बेटी किससे है, पहले हस्बैंड से है या अभी से है? मतलब वैसे अगर पहले वाले से भी होती है और अभी वाला हस्बैंड उसको प्यार से रख रहा है तो इट शुड नॉट बी योर कंसर्न, बट लोगों को मजा आता है और मैं इसको ना बहुत नॉर्मली लेती हूँ. आई थिंक बीइंग अ डिवोर्सी and getting remarried is a choice. Being a divorcee and not getting married is a choice. Being separated is a choice. Just wear it as a badge of honor. It should not stop you from anything. Anyway, so I told Amit that I'm taking a divorce. और इंडिया में क्या होता है, शादी तो आसानी से हो जाती है, डिवोर्स बड़ी मुश्किल से मिलता है और पैसा उतना ही लग जाता है डिवोर्स लेने में जितना शादी करने में लग जाता है. So I said मेरा तो मुझे पता नहीं भाई कब डिवोर्स होगा, डोंट गेट इनटू माय लाइफ, अपना तुम जियो. So he was like कि देखो मैं already 28 का हूँ और मुझे I'm not interested in getting married. I'm not interested in having kids. I'm not interested in having family. But तुमको देख के लगता है कि शायद मैं ये करूँगा. तुम्हारे साथ मैं ये कर सकता हूँ and I want a family with you, I want kids with you, I want to live with you and I'm ready to wait eternally. कितना भी time लगेगा, I'm going to wait for you. And he did wait. I got the divorce and we got married again, and things weren't easy after that too, because a lot of people would come and say a lot of things. Fortunately, at that time, we were living in Jaipur, Indore was away, and those stinkers, those fillers, those calls that he would get were less as compared to maybe hum Indore mein reh rahe hote to. But yeah, a lot of people did tell him that, oh, you got married to the wrong woman. Do you know what she is? Do you know what she's been up to? So I wouldn't want to name those people. It doesn't matter. I would just tell them that your energies were futile. You wasted your time and you made my relationship stronger. Because this actually told me that that man really loved me a lot. He loved me in isolation to the world. He loved me unconditionally. He didn't bother what the world was telling him. He saw what he saw in me. And that actually created a stronger bond between us. I was working at HSBC Jaipur when we got married. And then his Mossy was with us. She was a cancer patient, final stage. I had to quit the job, take care. I was pregnant, complicated pregnancy. So I was taking care of the child and the house, and probably I thought now the corporate sector, the business world is over for me. But again, I got a job for consulting very, very soon. My daughter was like on her second birthday itself, I started consulting again. And somehow circumstances forced, and we had to come back to Indore because my husband had some main hustle was in Indore. So yes, now after my coming back to Indore, I had my parents to take care of my daughter, and my daughter was already 7 years. And now I started to live my second innings because I thought now I can do the things that I want because child is grown up and parents are taking such good care of her. She was in the right hands. Uske pehle we would have some or the other, staff help us to take care of her. I wanted to live my dreams. My father had a bike when I was a kid and I wanted a bike. So I learned how to ride a bike and I got a bike for myself. And suddenly I became very famous in the city as this biker girl. Okay. So everybody knew this biker girl, biker mother. People would call me biker mom and things like that. And then I planned to contest elections in my club's for the club's managing committee. There's a club in Indore that's affiliated to the clubs in Jaipur, Jai, and Ashok. All the three are affiliated. It's called Yashwant Club. So I had heard that for many years, no woman had contested elections there. And I planned to contest elections. So now what happened? The Pandora box opened up. आसान ही होता है भाई, महिला है, उसको पंचिंग बैग बना दो, उसकी कैरेक्टर को असैसिनेट कर दो, बहुत आसान है. तो हमने देखा कि ऐसा हुआ कि किसी बहुत ही सज्जन व्यक्ति ने एक और फेवर किया मेरे को. उन्होंने एक बेनामी चिट्ठी लिखी कि ये महिला तो कैरेक्टरलेस है और इनको ये इलेक्शन लड़ने किसने दिया, She shouldn't, she doesn't deserve to contest this election. She doesn't deserve to be on the committee of the club. Because ये तो characterless हैं, ये तो divorced हैं, और ऐसी महिला को तो आप वोट भी क्यों देना चाहते हैं? And when I read that letter, obviously it was a very shabbily written, printed letter without a name, which was going to the club's members randomly, not to all, but kisi ko gaya. So, you know, then wo WhatsApp pe circulate hone laga. And when that letter came to me, I was like in tears. I was crying and very sad that because I was very hopeful that I'm winning the elections. People loved me. Like, I was well qualified. I had leadership qualities. And it was a woman who was coming after so many years in the club to contest elections. People were very happy that finally a woman is there and there'll be a woman on board. But I was very, very depressed looking at that letter. And then that day again, I realized, you know, that, okay, people don't want women to come up and do things. I went to my husband and he had not seen that letter as yet. And I went to him and I went and I told him, look at this letter and read it out. He read it and he started laughing. I was shocked. I'm like, Meri itni bezati ho rahi. The world is talking such stupid things about me. Such letters are going on and you're looking at this letter and laughing. He's like, what are they saying? You're characterless. Have you given anyone the right to give you a character certificate? Nobody in this world is entitled to give you a character certificate. If you give people that right, you will never be the right character. So just be yourself. They've written you divorced. So you are divorced and you got remarried to me. Stop hiding yourself. Tum khud hi apne sach ko chupati ho. You run away from reality. You are running away from your own reality. Why will people accept you when you haven't accepted yourself? Wear it as a badge of honor. So just before the elections, there was an annual general meeting and we had around 500 members attend it. I went on, every member has the right to go and speak. I said, I'm contesting elections. And after looking at that letter, I wanted to give up on my candidature, but it's already too late to, you know, give up on the elections. I'm feeling very bad. I don't know if I'm going to win or lose this election, but I'm dead sure that this club is not for women. Women should not come and contest, because if this is how you're going to treat a woman, it's not right. As per the club constitution, it doesn't say a divorced woman cannot contest elections. And I'm married again. I have a child. I have a family. Whoever's written this letter did not even think how bad it can get for me. If it weren't for a supportive spouse like Amit, probably my family would have been shattered. He would have told me, okay, so you wanted to do this for this? This is what I get? But he never felt humiliated because he was in terms with the reality. And to the club's credit, to the people in the club's credit, you won't believe that everybody in that AGM stood up and they said, we are with you. I won the elections. I'm on the board of the club. And ever since, there's no looking back. I suddenly became this very strong woman that the city would look up to. Then there were state elections and I became the election ambassador. So I was a co-speaker with Mrs. Janak Palta, who is a Padma Shri, with the singer Palak Muchal, who sung the songs of Ashiki. She's also from Indore. So I was one of the co-speakers with them and an election ambassador. It was a big forum and I had to encourage women to come and vote, that they should go and vote. It's their right to vote. So I suddenly started working for women's right. My messages were all over the radios that, you know, why women should go and vote. And then people started including me in a lot of forums as a women's speaker. I went on to places. I was invited by this newspaper, a very well-known newspaper. I don't like to mention brands, so I wouldn't. And they asked me to become a columnist with them. And suddenly I was this columnist and people are reading my columns. My photograph was in the newspaper for 90 days. I had my picture and like a proper Shobha Day column or like a Twinkle Khanna column, an Indore-based column was coming in and people started knowing me. So I'd go and people, oh, you're the one who writes that column, you know? And suddenly I became very, very famous. And now I am also now with the press. I learned what grassroots is all about. So empowered woman is not one who contests elections or who rides a bike or who tells women, you know, कि अपना vote करो. वो अच्छी बात है. That's a very good thing. But I wanted to normalize divorce. I wanted to normalize history. What is history? History is your past. You know, suppose somebody failed in 4th standard. Somebody wasn't a good student. And now that person is doing well. And you keep telling them, oh, tu to dabbu tha, tu to dabbu thi, tu padhai mein acha nahi tha. You know? Or maybe somebody probably had a divorce or a separation, or, you know, you keep reminding them, oh, maybe somebody was, maybe for that matter, raped. And you don't let that person forget it. I said, stop history shaming. Body shaming is one thing. You don't have to tell people how fat, how thin, how tall you are. But you have to stop history shaming people. If somebody's had a sad past or a past that is not undesirable and they want to come into the mainstream, please let them come in. But that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. Why? Because I also realized that women just don't need to normalize divorce or normalize their past or normalize their life. There are other things that they face. Things that every woman faces. Not every woman gets divorced. Not every woman is going to contest an election. Somebody might just be happy being a homemaker. You should be happy doing what you like. And that's when I realized that there is something that I want to work for that every woman has in her life. And I realized that I discovered menstrual hygiene. I discovered that every woman has period, but every woman does not have access to period or, you know, menstrual hygiene products. If we go and look around, less than 36% women in India, about 36% women in India. So out of 136 women are exposed to menstrual hygiene products. And not all of them are even able to use it repeatedly because the period comes every month. So we had to actually kind of, think of a thing that what to do about it. And we started distributing pads. And I noticed that there is so much poverty in our country that pads were sold back. So if I would give a woman a pack of 50 rupees, she would go to the nearby store and sell it for 25 bucks. She would sell that pad for 25 bucks. So it was such is the sad reality of our country, you know. So then I started thinking more about it, that what do I need to do that the pad does not get sold and she uses it. And I researched more about menstrual hygiene, and then that we found out that there are reusable cotton pads that can be made at home, DIY, do it yourself. So we sort of, prototyping and sampling, and we made a few samples of these cloth pads. And they also cost us a little bit, but they are pretty nice. And the girl can make it at her place. So at least the women who can't afford, the girls can't afford, they make it. And to married women, because in our country there's still a lot of stigma to the intact hymen. Please do not take me wrong, because reproductive health and sexual health is something that we do not talk about. Yes, Darshana, there's a no cash, no rash, and no trash that I say for these cotton pads, and also for the menstrual cups. So menstrual cups are cups that can be reused for more than 10 years, up to 10 years rather. And they can be used at every period. So if I give one woman a menstrual cup, she cannot resell it in the market. Nobody will take it because you do not know if it's used or not. And if I give one woman a menstrual cup, she can, for 10 years, she is pad free. She doesn't have to spend cash. So there's no cash. There's no rash because these pads that you get in the market, they have bleach. They have bleach in them. And they have a lot of other chemicals in them. There are a lot of fragrances that are not good for the skin. So a lot of women get period rash also. And not rash because it takes more than 50 years for these non-biodegradable sanitary napkins to decompose. So we thought we are doing a favor to the environment. A woman goes pad free. She goes, and the whole stigma around the whole thing that, a lot of people are not willing to tell their brother or their father or their husband that mera period aa gaya, go get me a pad. तो उनको बोलना भी नहीं पड़ेगा ना. जब वो खुद ही इतनी आत्मनिर्भर हो जाएंगी, they'll be independent to do what they do for their menstrual hygiene, will be perfect. अब ये सब तो मैंने किया ही है, लेकिन एक बहुत बचपन से मेरी आशा थी, एक always I wanted to be doing a beauty pageant. So I did the Femina magazine, Mrs. Femina, 2021, I was in the top 10 and I was just enjoying myself. I wasn't there to win because for me, it was very, very important, to learn how to, because I was always like a boy. So, to learn how to do a makeup and I wouldn't say like a boy, that's stereotyping because boys can also do makeup. Yeah. But I wanted to learn how to do makeup, how to do my hair, how to look nice, how to walk smartly, how to talk like a talker. So that whole thing was a great experience. There was a lot of grooming with a lot of who's who of the country who groomed us and who spoke to us. It was a great experience. I did the Mrs. Femina contest. I'm the MP State Press Club's secretary now, also on the board of the Yashwant Club. I'm running my NGO, taking care of my father's business, assisting him. I'm a mother of an only daughter, and I'm very, very proud of it. So that's about me. And I think life is all about living it. Just go with the flow, because you know what? Life is what happens to you when you're busy making other plans. So never think, okay, so I thought I'm going to do this and this will happen. So maybe, I wear a very pretty white shirt and on the road, somebody just splashes some sort of, it's a rainy day and it becomes dirty. Somebody splashes some mud on it. So the plan changes, So life changes like that. So don't plan, plan it. I'm not saying just don't plan life, but don't feel bad if it doesn't work out the way that you wanted it to. Because it has to happen the way it has to happen. There will be some music and you will have to dance to that music. It could be happy, it could be sad, but you will have to dance to that music. You will have to move on, because life is all about facing it every day. So the thing is that, we always think, okay, this man, this woman, this XYZ person is so accomplished or so rich or so beautiful, but everybody has their own struggles. We do not know what people might be going through. So you have to actually accept life the way it comes to you and live it. And believe me, I have not grown up. I will say I just refuse to grow up. I'm not childish. I'm childlike. I believe that keeps me young at heart, keeps me happy, and also keeps me very, very stress free. Because when I start worrying, things don't change. If I start worrying and stressing, things will not change for me. But if I'm just dealing with it the way it is, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You have to just face it. Worries don't change life. And but at the same time, I'll say one thing. I was interviewed once by an FM channel, and they asked me, "You were so young and you plan to take a divorce. It's still a stigma right now. Do you want to tell any? Do you have a message for the girls or anybody whoever takes a divorce?" I said, I don't know. At that age, at that very young age of 23, I did not know what I wanted for myself, but I did know what I didn't want for myself. So knowing what you don't want is very, very important, because that helps you set healthy boundaries. That takes you away from toxicity. And what happens is, most of the time we are willing to stay in a toxic situation just because we think we invested some time there. Just because we think, okay, no, this person, that person is actually somebody I, kind of like, and know that person is a friend, or that person is a husband, or whatever. No, please tell yourself, this is my healthy boundary. This is what I'm going to take, and this is just not desirable. It could be anything, So somebody might just mind somebody telling them XYZ things, and somebody might just be okay with somebody howling at them. So that is their boundary. But again, what is a healthy boundary is what you need to know. And never feel bad in asking help from people you love. Because what happens is, most of the time we feel bad in asking for help. Asking for help is the best thing that you can do. People who love you will help you. Ask them for help. I have taken help time and again from my parents, from my husband. In fact, I will tell you that I even take a counselor's help. Yes, I talk to a counselor once in a while. Why not? Because I have so many things to do. I'm facing a world where there are no women around me, sitting in boardrooms where there are no women. It's not easy at times for me.
So,
Now, yeah.
Surbhi, here I would like to say that if you have some questions, you can ask Surbhi. And ये जो आपने कहा है ना, वो इतना बढ़िया बात है कि काउंसलर को मिलना, बात करना बहुत जरूरी है. We feel that people should, consult a counselor when you are sick or when you are like troublesome or getting, all these kind of psychological issues, but not necessarily. You can become better if you talk to a person where आपके छोटे छोटे डर जो है, ये छोटे छोटे एप्रीहेंशंस को वहीं पे निकाल देते हो, तो हम बहुत बड़ा कार्य कर सकते हैं. Thank you for bringing that up.
That person is a neutral person. See, my husband knows my background, right? He knows I'm sitting in the boardroom with 10 other people or whatever. He knows those people personally, right? So he would have a perception. Okay, तुम उसको ऐसा सोच रही हो, वो ऐसा नहीं है, right? But the counselor wouldn't know. And I said, okay, I faced this in the boardroom today. I'm not happy about it. Or, I'm facing this in my struggle to raise funds for my NGO. So, I'm really tired. I'm so tired. I have to do this. And this is my ambition. I want to right now convert 100 women, but I have only funds for 50. So all those things should not be a problem of somebody who already knows you. Somebody who doesn't know you will give you a good counsel. It could also be about parenting. Like I'm raising a child, right? Now raising a child, you have parents, like your collective parents, like my husband and I will work together. But again, there might be issues that my husband would not find issues in my child. He would think it's a non-issue. But I as a mother might find it as an issue. So when we talk about it, then he will again be biased being a father. So talking to a counselor, then again, I think this habit of my child, I don't like. And in fact, you won't believe it. I am myself a qualified life coach. I know psychology, but still I would want to go to another person for myself. I also tell my child, because right now kids are really, this so volatile. Sometimes they're allowed to go to school. Sometimes they're sitting at home. Sometimes they're not allowed to do a lot of activities. Sometimes they're okay out in the open playing games. So even children, because they are at home, it's not wrong if a child also talks to a child psychologist. I don't think there's any, if you can afford therapy, please go ahead and do it. If you can't, there are people, because even in our NGO, we are working on mental health for women. So menstrual health is one agenda, mental health is another, and financial inclusion in the terms of, financial independence for women, because they know how to make money, but they don't know how to save money. Most of the time, even some segment of the society, women are getting home, आ रहे हैं घर पैसा कमाकर, और वो सारा पैसा वो उनके घर वालों को दे देते हैं. उनको सैनिटरी नैपकिन के खरीदने का भी पैसा नहीं मिल रहा था, सच में अपने लिए नहीं सोच पाते. तो हम उनको बताते हैं अबाउट माइक्रो इंश्योरेंस की लघु बीमा है, या म्यूचुअल फंड में आप 10 रुपए से 50 रुपए से भी इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं, कैसे कर सकते हैं. तो ये सारी चीजें जानना जरूरी है. और कहीं ना कहीं हर जना स्ट्रेस्ड हो जाता है, हर इंसान स्ट्रेस्ड हो जाता है. तो अगर आप किसी से न्यूट्रल इंसान से एडवाइस ले लेते हैं या बात कर लेते हैं, तो आप हल्के हो जाते हैं, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. एंड सीक हेल्प फ्रॉम पीपल इन योर फैमिली ऑल्सो, कि आई एम गोइंग थ्रू दिस प्रॉब्लम, प्लीज हेल्प मी, कैन यू हेल्प मी.
Yeah, and Surbhi, I would want to come here at this point कि हमारी फैमिली कभी कभी biased हो सकती है, judgmental हो सकती है. और जैसे आपने कहा कि there should be someone who is neutral with whom you can empty your mind. So I want to tell everybody who is here in this gathering today, about 45 people, Plan to Win एक definitely ऐसी community है जहाँ पे हम encourage करते हैं लोगों को हमसे बात करने के लिए and really empty themselves out. And since we don't know each other, but there is a culture where we provide that pristine listening in which the person can recreate themselves. So everyone who is here, Shalaka has sent a feedback form. Basically, this is for the feedback of entire program also. And so I want everybody to also mention there if any topic that you want to learn, or if you would want some help from us. तो हम चाहते हैं कि आप उसको जरूर भरिए, so that we can reach out to you and provide all the important support that is required when you are going in your day-to-day life. Yes, Surbhi. Yes, and I also want to ask if anybody has any questions, any particular part of her journey, and you can definitely ask Surbhi. Yeah.
So I first of all want to congratulate you, because this whole idea of a support group is not that popular in India, but you guys have started doing that. So kudos to Gitanjali and you, Darshana, and everybody on your team. Because this is very important that, हमारे पास दोस्त होते हैं, हम जिनको दोस्त कहते हैं ना, वो एक्वेंटेंसेस भी हो सकते हैं. आप जिनके साथ रोज पार्टी करते हैं, जिनके साथ आप मे बी रोज घूमते हैं, जरूरी नहीं आप उनसे अपने दिल की बात बोल सकते हैं. हो सकता है आपकी वेवलेंथ ही नहीं मीट करते हो. मे बी दे आर नॉट इवन योर ट्राइब. The whole idea to vibe with your tribe is very, very important.
Yeah, in fact, in Plan to Win is about, my vibe attracts my tribe. I would want to take this opportunity because Surbhi, आप जो बोल रहे हो इतना important है. I've just finished reading my book, Viktor Frankl's, A Man's Search for Meaning. और ये हमारे जो दोस्त होते हैं, ये हमारे जो acquaintances होते हैं, जो हमारी लाइफ को छूते हैं, they allow us to get access to the meaning. और यहाँ पे सुरभि और everybody, I want to tell you that you have a dedicated buddy. जैसे मेरी buddy है शलाका. Like the other day, if Shalaka wants to say something, she can just call me and she can, just tell me whatever she wants to. तो यहाँ पे जब Plan to Win में आप आते हो, और Plan to Win का एक coaching program है, monthly coaching program. In that, Surbhi, we allocate a buddy to the other person, or sometimes it's a small cluster of 3 people. और हम encourage करते हैं कि आप अपने जो भी problems है, barriers है, या जो भी आपको feel हो रहा है अभी, you have to just share with the person, and you won't believe acceptance causes disappearance. The moment you say, I am angry, you suddenly feel that the anger is slightly melting. But if you don't speak, it just keeps on building. तो ये जो हमारा structure है, सुरभि, आपने एकदम सही कहा कि पूरी, I don't think in India we have a structure where you are also working on your accomplishments, but you have a buddy जिसको पड़ी हुई है. जैसे अगर सुरभि का एक 50 women entrepreneur तक पहुंच रही है, उनको 100 तक पहुंचना है. So in Plan to Win community, she has a buddy, let us say Seema, and Seema is going to ask her कि सुरभि क्या हो रहा है? What is it that's coming in the way? What is it that you are dealing? How is it that we can do it together? Because we are each other's buddy. Likewise, Surbhi is going to ask Seema कि Seema कहाँ पे रुक रही हो तुम? क्या चीज है जो तुम डील कर रही हो अभी? So this is what is a platform, and thank you for acknowledging it कि पूरी भारत में ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं बना है, और हमारे पास 7 लोग हैं सुरभि. It's not only one person. 7 people who are working tirelessly to give that experience to the people. Thank you so much, Surbhi, for acknowledging. Yeah.
So basically, देखिए यहाँ तो मैंने ना बहुत ज़्यादा because of the English speaking thing, and I didn't want to make it look very. I want to make it look very informal. Otherwise, I speak so much out of passion that मतलब ऐसा करके कि एकदम सुबह सुबह मेरे को लोगों को डराना नहीं था, इसलिए मैंने बहुत ही normal talk करी, just talk की तरह. But all of you, I've given my number to Uttara. Uttara asked me for my number. I'm also joining the WhatsApp group. That would be great, because now again that this is such a nice opportunity that I also don't want to let go of. So I just want to tell people that accept yourself, just the way Darshana said. Accept yourself, whoever you are. Because nobody in this world doesn't have flaws. Everybody has flaws and everybody is awesome. So I say everybody in this world is flawsome. You can never be awesome in isolation. You will always be flawsome. You will have your flaws and you will be awesome. So please be flawsome. I call myself flawsome. I
awesome.
love, because I even tell my child, even children should have that acceptance that my parents are human beings. They can also falter. Because the kind of upbringing that we have, the conditioning that we have, that children think that parents are totally perfect. Parents से तो गलती हो ही नहीं सकती. Parents तो ऐसे कर ही नहीं सकते. Mama, आप ऐसे कैसे बोल सकते हो? Mama, आप कैसे loud हो सकते हो? Like, look at Seema. Now I can see her on the screen. Seema's so cute and childlike. I'm sure उसके बच्चों को लगता हो कि हम तो बड़े हो जाएंगे, हमारी मम्मी बड़ी नहीं होगी. क्यों Seema?
She's on mute.
बिल्कुल सही है. My kids tell me you're a kid yourself.
वही तो मैं कह रही हूँ, उनको लगता होगा कि हम तो बड़े हो जाएंगे, मम्मी तो बच्ची ही रहने वाली है.
And Seema has accomplished so much for her children. Yeah, both her children are. Yeah.
So that exactly, again I say that the labor of love it's sadly in the economic system, the labor of love is discounted. So if a man gets an insurance of 1 CR because he's a working person, his homemaker wife will get an insurance of 25 lakhs, because I've also been in insurance. The labor of love is discounted. क्या वो आदमी 1 करोड़ की वर्थ का हो सकता था अगर वो बंदी, उसकी वाइफ उसको सपोर्ट नहीं कर रही होती, बच्चों को नहीं बना रही होती? आज सीमा के बच्चे इतना कुछ कर रहे हैं, इतना अचीव कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज सीमा has made that compromise of, you know, sitting there, being there for everyone at their beck and call and supporting them day in and day out. सीमा नहीं होती तो वो नहीं हो पाते जो वो है। पर वही है ना, इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम में उसको डिस्काउंट कर दिया जाएगा। बट मेरे हिसाब से दैट इज अ लेबर ऑफ लव।
इनफैक्ट मैं चाहती हूँ सुरभि कि आपने ये जो मतलब रिलेशनशिप पे जो बात कर रहे हैं, विमेन फाइनेंस पे जो बात कर रहे हैं, आई रियली रियली वांट कि अभी हमारे जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं यहाँ पे, वो अपने कैन वी जस्ट गेट, आई विल रिक्वेस्ट माय कलीग्स टू जस्ट सी दैट मैनेज द चैट।
मैं बस
थैंक यू
और
सो
बात
मच।
बोलना चाहूंगी कि एवरी टाइम आई टॉक टू पीपल and they ask me and they say, okay, you know, a lot of people like do those marriage jokes na, shadi aisa shadi waisa, and I tell them, you know, I'm more experienced than you because I'm married twice, and then people are like, तुम्हें शर्म नहीं आती है बोलते हो? ऐसे इसमें शर्म की क्या बात है? दिस इज मी। अगर मुझे अपने ऊपर शर्म आएगी तो फिर दूसरों को तो और भी मुझे शर्मिंदा करने का मौका मिल जाएगा। But you know, for the longest time, I used to hide it. I never used to talk about it. Like Seema and Reena, they were in the same gym as me. मैं नहीं बोलती थी ये सब बातें। But जब वो जिसने भी वो चिट्ठी दुनिया में भेजी, उसने मुझे बहुत मेजर फेवर कर दिया। उसने मुझे मेरे पैंडोरास बॉक्स को प्यार करना सिखा दिया कि no, this is a treasure. This is not a Pandora's box. Treasure yourself, love yourself. Wear it as a badge of honor. There's no problem. And अगर आज मैं इतना घबराऊंगी तो कल मेरी बेटी डरेगी। You have to hear people out, you know. And I have to say this to all the parents. Don't tell your children कि यार अभी शादी कर लो ठीक हो जाएगा, फिर बच्चा कर लो फिर ठीक हो जाएगा, फिर बच्चा थोड़ा बड़ा हो जाएगा एक और बच्चा कर लो और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आ जाएगी ठीक हो जाएगा। No, please. If your child is saying it's not right, it's not right. उसको नहीं ठीक लग रहा, उसको प्लीज फोर्स मत करिए। Because I will not say my parents were wrong. उनको शुरू में बिल्कुल समझ ही नहीं आया। उन्होंने कई बार तो मुझे मतलब बोला एडजस्ट कर लो, ऐसे नहीं होता। उनकी गलती नहीं थी, उनको यही लग रहा था ना, वो जो कंडीशनिंग है सोसाइटी की, ऐसा जो देखते आए हैं वही राइट है। सो आई रिमेम्बर माय चाइल्ड, she used to go to these dance lessons and she came back crying one day and she told me that the teacher hit her on her thigh and she said I wasn't comfortable. She was crying and somehow like my husband said, okay, no, it's okay, just ignore it. And I said, no, I'm not going to ignore it. I went back to the class and I said, sir, you did this, she's not coming to the class again, and I do not approve of you doing this. So my child was very happy. Why? Because she thought that I was heard. अगर उस दिन मैं उसकी बात नहीं सुनती तो अगली बार उसके साथ कोई भी कोई गलत हरकत करता वो मुझे नहीं बता। And I went and I stood for her. She didn't go to those classes again. In fact, we got a lot of calls that they actually fired that teacher, because I think no teacher has a right to touch a child just like that. But अगर मैं बच्चे की बात पहली बार में नहीं सुनूंगी तो अगली बार मेरे पास आएगा ही नहीं, उसको लगेगा मेरी बात ही नहीं सुनी जाती। So please listen to your children. उनको बच्चे हैं, बच्चों की तरह ट्रीट करें, बट एट द सेम टाइम जब वो आपसे बात कर रहे हैं उनको एक लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड दीजिए। ये नहीं कि यार ये तो बच्चा है, ये क्या जानता है। कई बार मुझे लगता है हमें कई घरों में ऐसा ट्रीट करा गया है, तुम चुप रहो, तुम बच्चे हो, तुम क्या जानते हो, नहीं तुम गलत समझ रहे हो, तुम्हें कितना पता है दुनिया के बारे में। सो दैट हैज टू एंड। स्टार्ट ट्रीटिंग योर चिल्ड्रन एज इक्वल्स। सो इक्वालिटी तभी आती है जब मैं बात करती हूँ कि मैं मेंस्ट्रुअल कप यूज कर रही हूँ फॉर माय पीरियड एंड माय मेड इज यूजिंग अ मेंस्ट्रुअल कप। yes, we got to close, so anybody who has questions, तो मैं और मेरी मेड अगर सेम प्रोडक्ट यूज कर रहे हैं जब हमारा पीरियड आ रहा है तो इक्वालिटी है। जब मेरा बच्चा उसी तरीके से खुल के बोल सकता है जैसे मैं बोल रही हूँ तो वो इक्वालिटी है। इक्वालिटी लाना सोसाइटी में, लाइफ में बहुत जरूरी है, इकोनॉमिकली नहीं, मेंटली, हेल्थी इक्वालिटी, हेल्थ को लेकर इक्वालिटी होनी चाहिए, मेंटल लेवल पे इक्वालिटी होनी चाहिए। अब वो स्टाफ शुड नॉट फील कि मैं बॉस के सामने ऐसा नहीं बोल सकता, उसको बोलने का राइट होना चाहिए। वो गलत है तो आप उसको करेक्ट करें। ओके, क्विकली I'll hand it over to Darshana, and any questions, please, I'm open to answer them.
Yeah, Uttara had a question. Uttara, can you quickly ask a question? We'll sharp end at 9 a.m. Please be there for some final instructions. Yeah, Uttara.
So my question is to Surbhi. Surbhi, you are an amazing person and you have led a great life. Thank you for sharing it with us. But my question is saying I was raised like a guy, is that really important to say?
I'm telling you, this is misgendering. This should have not been done. मैंने आपको कहा ना वो misgendering है. I am a girl. I should have been raised like a child. बच्चे को जैसा आप परवरिश देना चाहते हो वैसी दीजिए. जो ये बहुत डायलॉग होता है ना, हमने तो कभी लड़के और लड़की में फर्क नहीं समझा. I think that is a very bad thing to say. It's not a good thing to say. It's very toxic. So I wouldn't blame my parents.
Yeah, that means you say, when a person says मैं लड़की और लड़के में फर्क नहीं करता, that means he is doing फर्क ना in his mind. That is the reason to say it.
Yes. बच्चा बच्चा है, irrespective of gender.
Yeah.
और अब तो बहुत जेंडर स्पेक्ट्रम है हमारे पास. कौन कौन से जेंडर से आइडेंटिफाई करता है हमें पता ही नहीं है.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah. So thank you so much, Uttara, for interacting, and thank you, Surbhi, for bringing us all these important, nuggets and snippets from your life. You have been a wonderful storyteller. एक मिनट भी हम लोग ऐसे और कुछ नहीं सोच सकते थे. You actually took us through your journey, और बहुत सारी चीजें हम सीख रहे हैं. और मैंने एक नोटिस किया है सुरभि के साथ, और जो मुझे लगता है कि शायद आप लोगों ने भी नोटिस किया होगा, she has not badmouthed her previous husband or wronged any character of that person with whom she must have struggled. So ये जो चीज है वो बहुत मेरे लिए बहुत बहुत जरूरी है. प्लान टू विन के लिए भी बहुत बहुत जरूरी है कि वी विल नेवर रॉन्ग एनीबडी, क्योंकि वो उनकी लाइफ है, उनकी चॉइसेस है. ये हमारी लाइफ है, हमारी चॉइसेस है. सो प्लान टू विन का कल्चर जो है वो मैं देख रही हूँ कि आप में भी, मतलब अगर हमको राइज करना है तो हमको जो भी लोग हमारे साथ जो भी करते हैं उनको रॉन्ग तो करना नहीं है, बट ब्रेकडाउन में क्या जबरदस्त ब्रेक थ्रू पाया आपने. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वन लेटर, you've completely come out as a different person. So acknowledging breakdowns and shining through the breakdowns is also one of the character of Plan to Win. Guys, Plan to Win में हम आपको ना केवल एक बडी देते हैं, मैं बताना चाहूंगी कि हम आपको आपके गोल्स के साथ कनेक्ट करते हैं, where your goals don't come from the culture scape but come from within you. So there are a lot of conversations that happen about your goals, creating your goal sheet, reviewing your goal sheet, and very importantly declaring your daily actions. तो आप अगर जानना चाहते हैं ये क्या हो रहा है यार, प्लान टू विन है क्या, तो जरूर ये ग्रुप ज्वाइन करिए और आपका फीडबैक फॉर्म जरूर भरिए, क्योंकि our team will contact you and we will let you know what actually happens in Plan to Win. So once again, a real acknowledgement to our speaker and everybody who is listening through. We are at 9 o'clock sharp, 39 people still gluing to the screen. Surbhi, God bless you and all the best for all your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for the lovely compliments on the chat box. And I will now be a part of this community and I'll get to see more of everyone. Thank you so much, Darshana and Gitanjali. And now I will say, I'm not saying all the best team Plan to Win, all the best to us, because now I'm going to be a part of this.
Super. More power to you and love you, Surbhi. Bye-bye. Take care. Have a great rocking weekend. Okay, have fun with your family.
Thank you so much.
And stay flawsome. Bye-bye.
Bye.